Welcome to another episode of Unhinged Reactions. Doug's got another one for me, and this, I have never heard of this at all. I have no idea what you're showing me here. What is it?
I'm not telling.
Oh,
I will tell you.
I can see.
Again, it has to do with
guitar.
it coincidentally did, because again, I mentioned in the previous episode that it's going to be harder for me to show you music that you
Right.
haven't heard and that you'll really dig. It's supposed to be the other way around. So I again dipped into the mid 70s.
Cool.
And it's and I also wanted to come from the Canadian perspective.
Oh, okay.
So our show, as you probably know, Ed is in Loveland, Colorado, just outside of Denver, and I'm in another country in Toronto, Canada.
Yep.
So there are a lot of Canadian groups like Saga on the Loose, Wind 'Em Up, that came through to the States, was big. Triumph was big, and that
Yep.
crossed over well.
Mm-hmm.
Bare Naked, blah, blah, blah. I don't get into that side. Sorry.
Justin Bieber.
All right, now you just crossed the line. Now I had a bucket here, then I'll push it back down. All right.
Okay.
Pose myself.
Yes.
So anyway, and Rush, of course, et cetera, et cetera. So a few groups didn't really go through too much, like April Wine, wasn't so much into them. But one group was Mahogany Rush. And that was, I believe, formed, but a big influence was Frank Marino.
Okay.
A guitar player like Robin Trower, what I've heard over the years, check him out. He was a big influence on people. Didn't really give it too much. Then I watched a few videos, and there's some good stuff there.
Okay.
So this is from the mid-'70s. This is from the live album from, I believe, 78, available on Amazon. Nod. Yeah, so we'll see if you like this one.
So what's it
The
called?
Answer
The
from
Answer.
Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush right after this.
Okay, Frank Marino, The Answer. Here we go. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Plays an SG.
Yeah, nice sound out of an SG.
Yeah.
That's smart.
It is Trower, Robin Trower-ish, definitely.
Very similar. Good voice.
Yeah.
Also Hendrix influence.
Of course.
Just a great riff hook there.
Oh, yeah.
Flowing. Very Hendrix. What?
Yeah. Whoa.
The prosecution arrests. Gotcha.
Wow.
Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush. What do you think?
Whoa. I mean,
I
dang. No, he's very reminiscent of Robin Trower, like you were saying, and the chord changes were non-standard, which I
Yeah.
loved because it kept you kind of guessing until you kind of understood the whole song.
And it's dynamic too.
Yeah, no, and they're all very tight, and he's singing while he's playing these cool rhythm parts, and I was noticing.
Well, it's the octaves that he's, and
Yeah,
the
but
sliding.
he was
and it's
also
very Hendrix.
he was also doing some picking, alternating strings in a certain
Yeah.
pattern,
Yeah.
all while singing and change. I mean, I can't do that.
That's again in the pocket,
Yeah.
but very Hendrix, yeah. And it's so,
Wow.
it really is a sign of that time.
Yeah.
What was in the soul and what was going on. So
I love it. I mean,
so even though it was a live song, it was very true to the original.
okay, the recorded
So it
version.
gives you that feel, even though it was nice and polished.
Yeah.
It gives you that feel of that time. And of course, playing the SG, I don't know what his main instrument was. I don't know enough about that, but it
Well,
sounds amazing.
I've always been a fan of SG guitars, the Gibson SG. It's I think this is a much better use for it than AC/DC ever kind of put. I mean, I like a
Well, it
couple
stamped their
things, but
sound, though.
yeah.
It stamped their sound.
Oh, it absolutely stamped their sound, but he's changed it. He doesn't sound like AC/DC here. He makes the SG
Yeah, Angus Young
sound
is
more
playing
like
that.
like a Les Paul or something. I mean,
Yeah, he's playing that bridge pickup distorted sound where this is that neck pickup bluesy kind of just adding crunch.
right.
And God, did it work.
Not quite as full of effects as Robin Trower has.
Right.
But he still does some wah pedal work there, and oh man,
Yeah, when it's getting stanky,
Yeah.
the wall, and the bends, and it's just really. So again, it's very true to the original kind of sound
yeah,
and very simple, 3-4 piece band that just
Very tight.
again, and going to those slow, bluesy, just ripping up parts. Very
Love
kind
it.
of similar, but I didn't plan it though. It was
Yeah.
really, I was looking at all these,
Yeah.
all of our kind of go-to era Grand Funk and Free and
This is great. So, I mean, one of the things I was hoping to get out of this channel that we're putting together here is, being able to introduce music to people or to you and, try to, but the effect it's having on me right now is I'm super excited to start listening to all these artists I've never listened to before. And
that's the idea, that it's going to be from me to you. You're going to get that
yeah,
for sure.
and it's like my playlist will now be forever changed because I'm going down some avenues I never went down before. And I hope I do the same to you with some of the newer stuff I might show you. So,
Well, from a behind the scenes perspective, it just means that all the research I did paid off, and that's just great. That's great, and that's
well,
the
and
idea.
you know the sound that I like. You know the kind of music that I really dig. So you can listen to a song like this and be like, yeah, he's gonna like this one, or nah, he's not gonna like this one. So far you're
Well, that gives me gratifying feelings, that I really know, all right,
yeah,
that's gonna work,
yeah,
but we don't want to be. We're not just looking for this, disingenuous reactions that, oh my
no,
God, some of the not gonna, won't like it,
yeah,
or whatever.
exactly, yeah,
So we're not going to not play those. So,
right.
but these are right on the head, and I figured they probably would be.
Yeah. No. So the band you said was called
Mahogany Rush featuring
Mahogany
Frank
Rush,
Marino.
and that was
He's the
Frank
lead
Marino,
singer.
the guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both like him and Robin Trower and Hendrix, vocalists, vocal guitarists.
Yeah.
Really just that old nice 70s blues.
So I wonder how they did in the U.S. Like they're a Canadian band, so they and you've heard of them, so I don't know whether they just didn't cross over very well in the U.S. or what, or maybe I just never
Probably
heard of them.
like I'm thinking Traffic and the other band that kind of was in that same era. It was just kind of like not the mainstream,
Yeah.
or maybe even James Gang, when
Mm.
Joe Walsh was with James Gang, is more, outskirts fringe or whatever, not,
Yeah.
but so that wouldn't, and then when you cross generations, then it probably gets less and less. So
Yeah.
it just didn't cross over like the big hits.
Yeah.
But of course, the big hits were really mainly in the 80s.
Mm.
And that's when MTV and music television was taking over. And so those things would come through because
Right.
they're probably scouting to find,
Yeah. Yeah.
these major hits from different
Yeah.
areas. And that's where Australia came in when
Mm.
Men at Work and,
Right. Right.
a few
Midnight
others came
Oil,
through.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously there were scouts from everywhere, and that's where music really came together.
Yeah.
But
No, this is great. Loved it.
check it out. It's the live remastered album from them, and it's good band, nice and solid.
All right. That's another good one. Stay tuned for yet another reaction. We'll see what Doug has to say about something that I have up my sleeve.
All right, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see. Bring it on.
All right. Take care, guys. Leave comments below, subscribe, and
Hit that like button.
hit the like button. See you
you
next
soon.
time.